Welcome into another episode of the Player's Perspective Uncensored. I am your host, Larry O'Bannon. No guest this episode, just me, man. Tuning back in, just touching base with you guys. I know it's been a while since we had our last guest, but felt like I just want to come on here and just do this one on my own on the first one, just to kind of get back, talk to you guys, and just kind of get things rolling back in the rhythm of putting out these episodes. So, man, just glad to be back talking to you guys, man. Got a few things to cover. I said that I was going to get on here and just answer a few questions. I put out some fillers out there of some topics or some questions people wanted me to talk about. So it won't be a long episode, but just wanted to get you guys something. I'm still excited coming off a great win against Clemson this weekend, number 11 team. The defense stepped up big. Shout out to Coach English. Came out and got the boys right. Coach Brom, who's been doing this thing all year long. Coach Barclay, my former male Bulldog on the coaching staff. But, man, just super proud of those guys, man, to go on the road and get one in a tough Clemson environment, man. I was able to get down into Death Valley maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, right before the pandemic hit. And it was my first time ever getting down there. And, man, you want to talk about an experience, just to see their intro of running down the hill, patting the rock. Man, it's an amazing experience, man. So I have a inkling of what they was up against to be able to go down in there, man, and to be able to band together like a pack of brothers, man, to come out and get that victory. Nothing short of amazing, man. So really, really excited about that. Also excited about basketball season officially kicking off with the first regular season game against Moorhead coming up here. Super excited about that. Kicking off the Pat Kelsey era. Jonathan Maddox is kicking off the era at Moorhead State. He was on the coach staff there for 9 years, went away, I think, to Murray for a couple of years, came back, got the head coaching position. So officially kicking off his era there. So it's going to be an interesting game, man. You got two teams that play completely opposite, right? You have Moorhead, who is wanting to slow it down, get it inside. They got a kid by the name of Deontay Miles, just a load of a man, just down in the paint, man. So they're probably going to look to pack it into him. And, PK's team, they want to get out. They want to play fast, up and down, and spread the court. So it's going to be a game of who can just impose their will and just diffuse their style of play into the game. It's the first official game in the Yum Center for PK, so he's got that going for him. But I'm just looking forward to it, man. Man, it's just an exciting time for U of L sports. And so, with that being said, man, I'll kick it back off with some of the questions that you guys wanted me to talk about on the podcast, and we'll go from there. So the first question that you guys asked was, what are my thoughts on PK and the conversations that you've had with them? Man, it's been a lot of conversations, to be honest with you. From the time I'll start back from the time he was hired. Got a chance to meet him at the press conference. I was just like everybody else. I didn't know much about him when he was hired. Now, I'd done a little research. I knew that he was a winner. He had been in Winthrop and he had been at the College of Charleston, but had never met him in person. And man, he's been nothing short of amazing, to be honest with you. Every time you see him and talk to him, he's loves talking basketball, loves talking family, great down-to-earth guy. At the press conference, we talked about the tradition, talked about, all the alumni and just wanting everybody around. He just kind of said the right things that you do when you embody and take over a historic and a traditional program like the University of Louisville. And so I've gotten a chance to be at some of the speaking engagements that he's been in around town. We always just get a chance to have small talk because he's super busy. So we just have small conversations. I've gotten a chance to talk to him at practice. He's been great. He's been coming over and explaining his philosophies and what he thinks. Even been in his office a few times when just walking down into the basketball facilities, and he stops and talks about his beliefs. And he's one, even if you're just passing by, hey, Coach Kelsey, how you doing? He's going to stop. He's going to tell you about how practice went, the philosophy, and he has a mantra of never delay gratitude, and just the approach and the mannerisms that he has. You could really see that's his whole approach, man. The guy that's really grateful to be in the position that he's in. I don't think he'll admit it, but just my personal thought is that, with all of the coaching, searching, and the headlines and wondering what Louisville's going to do with their coaching vacancy, and, not necessarily being the first option, I think he carries that as a chip on his shoulder, man. I think that motivates him. I think that drives him, which is a great thing. But everything worked out for the best and how it was supposed to be, man. We're glad to have him here. I'm glad that he's here. Really appreciate, how he's fully embraced the job, embraced what it means to the community to be the head coach at the University of Louisville. And I mean, he just loved it. He's done all the right things. And so the conversations and the intros and the relationship that I've had with him in this short stint has been pretty awesome, man. How has he been around? The same thing. What have you seen in practice? I've seen guys compete. I've seen guys get at it. Probably the thing that really got my attention the most when I went to practice was just his presence. It wasn't Patino-like, but in a ways it kind of was. I mean, he has his own style. I'm not comparing him to Patino by any means. But just his presence. And I'll give you an example of that is when he was explaining something, there were some people, some staff, fans, people sitting in the stands. And when he was stopping to explain something, he told everybody to freeze. And I think one of the guys was still spinning the ball or still walking. And he was like, freeze, don't move. When I'm talking, when I'm explaining, I don't want anybody talking, dribbling, or anything. And that went from the players, went for the staff, I went for the people in the stands. And so that was the first thing that really caught my attention. Another thing is, like, they pray before practice. I've never seen that before. I thought that was pretty cool, man. And, most time you get teams, they get together and they pray before going out, taking the court for a game. But for practice, I've never seen that, man. I thought that was unique. And I thought that was pretty cool, man. That's awesome to see. But you got 7 fifth-year or more seniors out there, so he's able to move fast. He's able to explain things, and the guys are able to pick it up fast. You only have 2 underclassmen, a freshman and a sophomore. And so it's great for him to be able to implement things and just not have to really harp on it. So you can see they move at a fast pace. He explains things. It's a lot of fun out there. It's a different environment. Like, they have music playing sometimes to get the guys' juices going for practice. Everybody is super excited. Everybody brings a ton of energy. PK brings a ton of energy. And so that's what I've seen in practice, man. And, they shoot a lot of threes. They do a lot of shooting. Fun to watch, man. It's fun to watch. Next question. What are my expectations for the season? I expect to win. That's what I expect. I expect to win. Obviously, we haven't had a chance to win like we wanted to in the past few years, man. And so I think, with the portal, it sort of eliminates the rebuilding process. I think it allows you to go in and grab players that are experienced and upperclassmen, just as PK did when he pretty much brought in a whole new roster, new staff, everything. And so I think you bring guys in to help you win right now, because in all honesty, there is no 4 or 5 year waiting period for college coaches anymore. You've got to win. You've got to win within like 2-3 years max, and less it's going to be on to somebody else. So, I expect the guys to win. I expect them to be right there competing for a chance to be in the NCAA tournament. I mean, obviously last year we only had 8 wins. We had 4 wins before that, and only place to go is up from there. But I expect these guys to be in contention and compete every night and have a chance to play an NCAA tournament at the end of the year. I think that's everybody's expectation. I think that's PK's expectation. You know, I just think that's what we're shooting for. A successful season would be that. If we don't make the tournament, is that a failure of a season? No, I don't think so. But you just want to continue to see improvement. You want to see the program trending in the right direction, and you want to see the fan base excited about the product that's on the floor. So I think that's what you would define as a successful season. Next question. Commentating, how has it been and what's my thoughts on it? Man, it's been great. I got a chance to do it 2 years ago. I did it for the Wright State game when a little guard hit us for the buzzer beater and beat us on the last second shot. And to be honest with you, I love it. And it was probably more than what I was expecting the first time I did it. You don't really know what to expect, right? You got somebody talking to you in your ear. You trying to get words out. It's a bunch of action going on the court. You trying to kind of explain everything, but you don't want to talk too much. So it was a great learning experience my first time doing it. So coming back doing it this year, I kind of knew what to expect. I knew how to practice. I knew what was ahead of me. And it's been great. I'm still learning. I'm still wet behind the ears when it comes to this commentating thing. But I know that it puts me in a mind frame of being a coach, because I have to study. I have to know both teams. I have to be able to articulate what I'm seeing and what the fans are seeing, and kind of break down the game as it's going on and just kind of relay it through my eyes as an experienced basketball player, and put them in a mind frame of what a player may be thinking that they may not have the experience. And so from that aspect, man, it's been pretty cool. I enjoy it. I look forward to it. I get a chance to call the Morehead State game, and it's just been grateful, man. Grateful for the opportunity for the University of Louisville to trust me to be able to call a few of these games. And so, man, just trying to take full advantage of it and just do the best that I can, man. But it's been nothing short of amazing. It's starting to become more and more natural to me, and just kind of learning my own style, learning what works for me. My first time I did it, I got a chance to work with Kent Taylor, who was awesome. This time I get to work with Jody Demling, who's just as awesome. And these guys helped me out a lot. And so they kind of tee it up for me, man, and just kind of help me talk naturally and just kind of talk about my experiences when it comes to what's happening on the basketball court. Next question. Oh, I knew this was coming up. Coach Pitino giving UK NIL and his support of UK. What do you think about that? I really didn't think much of it, to be honest. I know a lot of fans was thinking that he was doing it to dig back at U of L. No, I didn't think that at all. Obviously, it's just a natural thought for maybe some fans, some people, because anything related to UK and U of L is going to be a natural rival. Anything that's supported by U of L, UK people are going to hate. Anything that's supported by UK, U of L people are naturally going to dislike. There's just a yo-yo effect with that correlation, right? But I think this was a situation where, honestly, Coach just wanted to support his players, man. I'm not sure what his relationships is with Coach Stoops, but as far as Mark Pope, it doesn't matter what school he was at. Coach loves his players. And I think he wants to see Mark Pope be very successful, being that he played on his 96 championship team. Mark Pope helped him win a national championship. That was one of the best teams in college basketball history. And I think Mark Pope could have been anywhere and he would have supported him. But for him to come back to a place where a coach used to coach, and for him to be there as one of his former players, I think he was just going there just to support them. I mean, Peyton Siva is on the staff at the University of Louisville, and I guarantee you, Peyton Siva down the line gets a head coaching job at whatever university. Guess what? I think Coach Pitino will be there supporting him and helping him raise money and donating to his NIL campaign as well. So I didn't read much into it. Yeah, that's it. Coach just supporting his players. He's got thousands of players that's played for him at Providence, UK, U of L, and other schools that he's been at when he was an assistant. And so, he loves all of his players, man. And so I just think it was a situation where he was going back and supporting them and supporting at a place that he was able to coach and find success and really kind of help, bolster his coaching status into that next realm. All right, last question. Do I still play, and have I ever thought about getting out and trying to play with the team? No, I don't really play. No, I don't play. It's funny because sometimes when I talk to, the people at the University of Louisville, and they say, "Man, you look like you can still go. You still look like you can still play." And I'm like, "Man, I haven't played basketball in almost 5 years. I retired in 2020, and when I walked away from the game, man, like I didn't do anything. Like I'll probably go in the gym and I might pick up a ball and shoot a few jumpers, and then I'll put the ball down and keep walking. I think when I retired at the age of 36 and a half, going into 37, like I just didn't have nothing else to give, man. I given every ounce of basketball that I had to the game. And I just don't have a desire to play. Now I love coaching. I love passing on knowledge. I love giving out information from experiences that I have. I love doing that. I'll get out, shoot some jumpers and have fun and do little shooting contests, with my friends and stuff like that. I have 2 young sons that are coming up. They love playing basketball, so I like staying in shape because I know at some point they're going to want to check the ball up and play a one-on-one. And now I'll play then, but to get out and to play competitively, no, I don't still play. Could that change down the line? Yeah, it could possibly change, but I doubt it because I just don't have a desire to play, honestly. I trip some of my friends out because some of my friends have retired and they like going and playing in open gym and pick up and playing in different men's leagues, but it just, I have no inkling of interest to get out and play. I think the one thing that could change that is if, as my boys continue to get older, they love going to U of L volleyball games, basketball games, and if they wanted to watch me play, that would probably be the only thing that would get me to get out there and play, just so they could watch me play in some sort of fashion. It wouldn't be the prime Larry O'Bannon, but at least they could say that they got a chance to see their dad play basketball. Man, I always thought that was so cool when guys would have their kids earlier on and have them at an age to where they could grow up and understand what their dad's actually doing and experience it with them. So that would probably be the only thing that would get me out there and play. But other than that, no, I don't play. I don't really have a desire to play. Shoot some jumpers, 1 or 2, a little bit, and put the ball down and go sit on the sideline and coach and tell somebody else how to do it. That's all I got, man. But I appreciate you guys tuning in, man. It's been another episode, getting this thing back rolling. And so have a special guest for you on the next episode. We'll have our bourbon of the day review for you guys. And look forward to it, man. If you tuning in to the game tomorrow, make sure you tune in so we can watch, so you guys can watch the Morehead State U of L game. I'll be calling with Jody Demlin. It's going to be a blast. And go Cards.